a picture of someone will pop up into my mind. A family member, a friend, someone I work with, a neighbor, someone from my past, even a stranger I may have seen on the street. To me, it doesn't really matter who it is because the idea is to gear my mind toward love. Once the person to whom I'm directing the love is clear, I simply wish them a day filled with love. I might say to myself something like, I hope you have a wonderful day filled with loving kindness. When I'm finished, which is within seconds, I usually feel that my heart is ready to begin my day. In some mystical way that I can't explain, those few seconds stick with me for many hours. If you give this little exercise a try, I think you'll find that your day is a little more peaceful. Number 43, become an anthropologist. Anthropology is a science dealing with man and his origins. In this strategy, however, I'll conveniently redefine anthropology as being interested without judgment in the way other people choose to live and behave. This strategy is geared toward developing your compassion as well as a way of becoming more patient. Beyond that, however, being interested in the way other people act is a way of replacing judgments with loving kindness. When you are genuinely curious about the way someone reacts or the way they feel about something, it's unlikely that you will also be annoyed. In this way, becoming an anthropologist is a way of becoming less frustrated by the actions of others. When someone acts in a way that seems strange to you, rather than reacting in your usual way, such as, I can't believe they would do that, instead say something to yourself like, I see, that must be the way she sees things in her world. Very interesting. In order for this strategy to help you, you have to be genuine. There's a fine line between being interested and being arrogant, as if secretly you believe that your way is better. Recently, I was at a local shopping mall with my 6-year-old daughter. A group of punk rockers walked by with orange spiked hair and tattoos covering much of their bodies. My daughter immediately asked me, Daddy, why are they dressed up like that? Are they in costumes? Years ago, I would have felt very judgmental and frustrated about these young people, as if their way was wrong and my more conservative way was right. I would have blurted out some judgmental explanation to my daughter and passed along to her my judgmental views. Pretending to be an anthropologist, however, has changed my perspective a great deal. It's made me softer. I said to my daughter, I'm not really sure, but it's interesting how different we all are, isn't it? She said, yeah, but I like my own hair. Rather than focusing on the behavior and continuing to give it energy, we both dropped it and continued to enjoy our time together. When you are interested in other perspectives, it doesn't imply even slightly that you're advocating it. I certainly wouldn't choose a punk rock lifestyle or suggest it to anyone else. At the same time, however, it's really not my place to judge it either. One of the cardinal rules of joyful living is that judging others takes a great deal of energy and without exception pulls you away from where you want to be. Number 44, understand separate realities. While we're on the subject of being interested in the way other people do things, let's take a moment to discuss separate realities. If you have traveled to foreign countries or seen depictions of them in movies, you are aware of the vast differences among cultures. The principle of separate realities says that the differences among individuals is every bit as vast. Just as we wouldn't expect people of different cultures to see or do things as we would, in fact, we'd be disappointed if they did. This principle tells live in a rural area of the San Francisco Bay Area. Most of what we see is beauty and nature. One of the exceptions to the beauty is the litter that some people throw out of their windows as they are driving on the rural roads. One of the few drawbacks to living out in the boondocks is that public services such as litter collection are less available than they are closer to the city. A helping ritual that I practice regularly with my 2 children is picking up litter in our surrounding area. We've become so accustomed to doing this that my daughters will often say to me in animated voices, "There's some litter, Daddy, stop the car." And if we have time, we will often pull over and pick it up. It may seem strange, but we actually enjoy it. We pick up litter in parks, on sidewalks, practically anywhere. Once I even saw a complete stranger picking up litter close to where we live. He smiled at me and said, "I saw you doing it and it seemed like a good idea." Picking up litter is only one of an endless supply of possible helping rituals. You might like holding a door open for people, visiting lonely elderly people in nursing homes, or shoveling snow off someone else's driveway. Think of something that seems effortless, yet helpful. It's fun, personally rewarding, and sets a good example. Everyone wins. Number 46. Every day tell at least one person something you like, admire, or appreciate about them. How often do you remember or take the time to tell people how much you like, admire, or appreciate them? For many people, it's not often enough. In fact, when I ask people how often they receive heartfelt compliments from others, I hear answers like, "I can't remember the last time I received a compliment." Hardly ever, and sadly, I never receive them. There are several reasons why we don't vocally let others know about our positive feelings towards them. I've heard excuses like, "They don't need to hear me say that, they already know," and "I do admire her, but I'm too embarrassed to say anything." But when you ask the would-be recipient if he or she enjoys being given genuine compliments and positive feedback, the answer 9 times out of 10 is, "I love it." Whether your reason for not giving compliments on a regular basis is not knowing what to say, embarrassment, feeling that other people already know their strengths and don't need to be told, or simply not being in the habit of doing it, it's time for a change. Telling someone something that you like, admire, or appreciate about them is a random act of kindness. It takes almost no effort once you get used to it, yet it pays enormous dividends. Many people spend their entire lifetimes wishing that other people would acknowledge them. They feel this especially about their parents, spouses, children, and friends. Even compliments from strangers feel good if they are genuine. Letting someone know how you feel about them also feels good to the person offering the compliment. It's a gesture of loving kindness. It means that your thoughts are geared towards what's right with someone. And when your thoughts are geared in a positive direction, your feelings are peaceful. The other day, I was in the grocery store and witnessed an incredible display of patience. The checkout clerk had just been chewed out by an angry customer, clearly without good cause. Rather than being reactive, the clerk diffused the anger by remaining calm. When it was my turn to pay for my groceries, I said to her, "I'm so impressed at the way you handled that customer." She looked me right in the eye and said, "Thank you, sir." argue for your limitations and they're yours. Many people spend a great deal of energy arguing for their own limitations. I can't do that. I can't help it. I've always been that way. I'll never have a loving relationship. And thousands of other negative and self-defeating statements. Our minds are powerful instruments. When we decide that something is true or beyond our reach, it's very difficult to pierce through this self-created hurdle. When we argue for our position, it's nearly impossible. Suppose, for example, you tell yourself, I can't write. You'll look for examples to prove your position. You'll remember your poor essays in high school, or recall how awkward you felt the last time you sat down to write a letter. You'll fill your head with limitations that will frighten you from trying. In order to become a writer or anything else, the first step is to silence your greatest critic, you. I had a client who told me I'll never have a good relationship. I always screw them up. Sure enough, she was right. Whenever she met someone, she would, without even knowing it, look for reasons for her new partner to leave her. If she were late for a date, she would tell him, I'm always late. If they had a disagreement, she would say, I'm always getting into arguments. Sooner or later, she would convince him that she wasn't worthy of his love. Then she would say to herself, see, it happens every time. I'll never have a good relationship. She had to learn to stop expecting things to go wrong. She needed to catch herself in the act of arguing for her own limitations. When she started to say, I always do that, she needed instead to say, that's ridiculous. I don't always do anything. She had to see that arguing for her limitations was just a negative habit that could easily be replaced with a more positive habit. Today, she's doing much better. When she reverts to her old habit, she usually laughs at herself. I have learned that when I argue for my own limitations, very seldom do I disappoint myself. I suspect the same is true for you. Okay, for number 48, I want you guys to take this as you will in your own personal life. Number 48 says, remember that everything has God's fingerprints on it. Rabbi Harold Kushner reminds us that everything that God has created is potentially holy. Our tasks as humans is to find that holiness in what appear to be unholy situations. He suggests that when we can learn to do this, we will have learned to nurture our souls. It's easy to see God's beauty in a beautiful sunrise, a snow-capped mountain, and a smile of a healthy child, or in ocean waves crashing on a sandy beach. But can we learn to find the holiness in seemingly ugly circumstances, difficult life lessons, a family tragedy, or a struggle for life? When our life is filled with the desire to see the holiness in everyday things, something magical begins to happen. A feeling of peace emerges. We begin to see nurturing aspects of daily living that were previously hidden to us. We remember that everything has God's fingerprints on it. That alone makes it special. If we remember this spiritual fact while we are dealing with a difficult person or struggling to pay our bills, it broadens our perspective. It helps us to remember that God also created the person you are dealing with, or that despite your struggle to pay your bills, you are truly blessed to have all that you do. Somewhere in the back of your mind, try to remember that everything has God's fingerprints on it. The fact that we can't see the beauty in something doesn't suggest that it's not there. Rather, it suggests that we are not looking way is the only way. Men aren't good listeners. Women spend too much money. Children are too much work. People in business don't care about anything except money. You can see that the list itself is potentially endless. The point here isn't the specifics of what you are stubborn about, but rather the fact that you hold on so tightly to any given idea you might have. It doesn't make you weak to soften your positions. In fact, it makes you stronger. I have a male client who was adamant to the point of being obnoxious about it that his wife spent too much money. As he relaxed a little, he noticed his own rigidity. He discovered something that he's now a little embarrassed about but laughs at. He found out that in reality, he spent more discretionary money on himself than his wife spent on herself. His objectivity had become muddled by his own rigid belief. As he has become wiser and gentler, his marriage has improved.